Once more, welcome to the Hebrew channel. Today is all about the Hebrew Bible, named the Tanakh. The Hebrew Bible, the Tanakh, is more about the Old Testament. It's only about the Old Testament, in fact. So there's no New Testament in there. So here we are going to check the relationship between Hebrew and Sesotho. Now, in Sesotho language, which is in the southern part of Africa, South Africa to be in particular, we have the South Sotho, the North Sotho, and Setswana, which is the Western Sotho. The North Sotho is Sepedi. The South Sotho is just Sotho. It's known as Sotho. And then we have also another language which is not really in the southern part of Africa, which is Selozi. Selozi, you find it around Namibia, and I've heard from other people that even in DRC there is Selozi. I'm not quite sure about that, but anyway, it's there in Africa, in the middle part of Africa, but towards the southern part. So Hebrew is related to these Bantu languages. Sesotho is a Bantu language, but there are many Bantu languages in Africa. So let's go on and look at some other slides. So I said the Hebrew Bible, the Tanakh, is more about the Old Testament. In fact, it's only about the Old Testament. There's no New Testament in there. And then we are told that there are about 24 books in the Tanakh, while in the normal Bible we have about 39. But the only differences between them is that books are not like we have in the Bible. Maybe we have for instance, let me check if I have it here. So what I can just say is that for instance, certain books are not repeated, like we have for instance, okay, sorry, I was intending to open another slide, but I realized that I don't have it here. So simply saying that in the book of Samuel there are 2 books of Samuel. So in the Hebrew Bible, such books are not repeated. It's only one. When it's Samuel, it's only Samuel. When it's Kings, it's only Kings. It's not Kings 1, 2, or 3. I'm just making an example. So let's go on to the next slide. So the Tanakh is divided into 3 books, 3 portions actually. In fact, the word Tanakh is an acronym of the word Torah, Nevim or Nabim, or Ketuvim or Ketubim. The Torah is about laws, while Nabim is about the prophets. Nabim in Hebrew means prophets, while Ketuvim means writings. Nabim is from the word Naba, which is a prophet. So you must notice that the word Naba, when it's in plural form, it's Nabim. We add I am. So in Hebrew, most words ending in I am is in plural form or in OTH, ot. Usually it's the female, but I'm not going to dwell into that because the I am is mainly male nouns and ot is mainly female nouns. So ketuvim is from the word ketub. So ketub is to write. So meaning ketuvim is writings. But you must also notice that in Hebrew, the V and the B are interchangeables due to the reason that there were different dialects within the Hebrew, within the Israelites. So some used V in certain instances, some used B. For instance, in South Africa, in the Sesotho language, we use mainly B. There's no V. So, but when you look at another language, which is Chivenda, they use V. Chivenda is not that close to Sesotho, but it has some Sotho words in, because anyway it's an African language, a Bantu language. So Sesotho is a Bantu language. So I said Tanakh is divided into Torah, Nevim, Ketuvim, which means Torah is the laws, Naba is the prophets, Navim is the prophets, Ketuvim writings. So Torah, we know that is credited to Moses, who wrote those 5 books of the Torah. And then let's look at the Torah. The Torah, we chose only 2 books from the Torah, the portion of Torah, which is the laws, the book of Numbers and Deuteronomy. In Hebrew, the book of Numbers is Bamidbar, and then the book of Deuteronomy is called Devarim or Dabarim, whichever way you call it. You either choose to use V or B. So let us first look at this word Tabar, which is a word, a matter, commandment, and all these other meanings here. In Sesotho, we have the word Taba, which is a word, a matter, issue, or commandment. And you can go on. So you see the relationship between Hebrew and Sesotho, Tabar and Taba, meaning T and D are interchangeable when you move from Hebrew to Sesotho. So perhaps it's because these two languages separated almost 3 to 4 millenniums ago. So we've looked at the word Tabar, and then remember that in the books of Torah we chose Bamidbar and Devarim. Bamidbar, which is Numbers, Devarim, which is Deuteronomy. Now let us look at Bamidbar. What it means. It does not mean weight or issue, but Bamidbar. Normally the word Ba in Hebrew, it means in. Ba, it means in. Me, this me is from. Sometimes. So Bami Dabar, this Dabar has nothing to do with the weight or issue or matter or commandment. It has to do with perhaps pestilence and all this plague. But in Sesotho, we have the word Mitsuburu, which is confusion, mayhem, conflict, violence, and by the look of it, it goes hand in hand with what was happening during that time, during that time when the Israelites were moving from Egypt to their promised land. Now, Mitsuburu, confusion, mayhem, conflict, and violence. So we're saying Bamidbara means if we leave be outside, so it's Mitsuburu, which means confusion, mayhem, conflict, violence, and all those related to it. Now let us look at another one, Devarim, which is Deuteronomy. We move out of the book of Numbers, which is Bamidbara, book of Numbers. We go to Deuteronomy, which is Devarim or Dabarim. You can say Dabarim. That's an I here, yes. Devarim. So again, the word Tabar, I'm only repeating what we've done before, and then Tabar is the word matter, commandment, concern, manner, matter, message, promise, purpose, and almost all of this words we found in here. So the book of Deuteronomy had to do more with commandments from God, which were passed on via Moses to the children of Israel. So Deuteronomy, I think it's a Greek word, but I don't really know what the meaning of it. But so the English only borrowed that word from Greek. So in Hebrew, actually, is Devarim. So we must remember that anything that has to do with Israelites has to do with their language, which was Hebrew. So the Bible books before were originally written in Hebrew, and then they were later translated to other languages. And then we go to the next one, the Nevim, which is prophets. Let me yes, the Nevim, prophets, can either say Nevim or Nabim, prophets. And then in the books of the prophets we choose only two, that is Shoftim, which is judges, and Melachim, which is kings. You see the im that I talked about, the im, which is a plural form, meaning judges and kings. So let us look at the judges. A single judge in Hebrew is shepherd. Many judges are Shoftim. So the word shepherd or and a single judge is a shepherd, and then this word shepherd means to judge. So in the Sesotho language we have the word sepeto, which is a judgment, a decision especially after some deliberation and rule, conclusion, results, or outcome. So shepherd, to judge or pronounce a sentence, to vindicate, punish in Hebrew, is also related to this word of Sesotho sepeto. So meaning that Shoftim or judges means which is Shoftim is related to that Sesotho word, which is sepeto. And then we go to our next word, which is Melech. You remember here it's Melachim, meaning kings. So Melech is a king, a king, someone from the royal family who's ruling. So in Hebrew it's written Melech, but we say in Sesotho it could either be Melechi or Moluki. The word Melechi here is from this word. Melechi is a noun from this verb called Belecha, either to carry over, protect, or so. Another word is Muluki, from the Muluki. It's a noun from the word boloka. It's a verb, to take care or to protect. So a king is someone who, according to the traditions and beliefs of the Africans, a king is someone chosen by the higher being to protect or lead the nations, to take care of them. So Africans from time immemorial believed so greatly in kings until today. Some of them, although most of us now are more westernized, but we still believe in our kings to be chosen by God. Now, the third portion of the Tanakh is Ketuvim, which is writings. From the word, you remember Ketub, to write. So in the Ketuvim section, we chose only two books, which is Psalm and Proverbs. Psalm in Hebrew is Tehillim, which is also a plural from the word from the word Tehillah, laudation, a praise. So these writings are mainly about praising the Lord, and they are mostly credited to the King David. So this word Tehillah in Hebrew is related to a Sesotho word Tuhuletsa, from the root Hoeletsa, which is Setswana, or Hoeletsa, which is Southern Sotho, either to support, praise, or loud hail. In Sesotho, people who normally go and watch soccer games, they are called Batuhuletsi, meaning they are supporters of that team. So the word Tuhuletsa means to support or to praise or to give to loud to give out loud support to your team or whatever. So however, in that time, Tuhuletsa was about praising God. So Tehillah is related to Sesotho, like I've shown above. So really Hebrew is more related to the Bantu language than any other language, than any other language groups in the whole world. So we go to our next one. It's Proverbs. Proverbs in Hebrew is Mashal. Mashal, it's, you see here, it's some sense of original sense of superiority in mental action. It's a parable or a proverb. So in Sesotho we have a word mahlale or matlale or buhlale, which is related to it's more about wisdom and intelligence. So Proverbs had has to do with wisdom. So it's really related to this Sotho word, mahlale or matlale. Matlale is Setswana, mahlale is Sotho. So the word wisdom, intelligence, um, it's it's mahlale, matlale in Sesotho, and then mashal, proverbs in mashal in Hebrew, and then proverbs in English. So you see again, Hebrew and Sesotho is the relationships is so strong. So meaning there is that possibility that the Sesotho language is either it's from people who speak Sesotho languages, could be uh, one of those lost tribes of the children of Israel, or perhaps the children of Judah, because again in South Africa we already have I mean those people who claim that they are the Jude, Judeans. They are called the Balembe. From their language is related to Chivenda. So they are found here in South Africa. So the children of the lost tribes of Israel left Israel about 700 years before, 6 to 700 years before Christ. So there's a high possibility that the Sesotho language has to do more with the lost tribe of Israel. So thank you so much for listening to me. And then we have more coming. Thank you so much. Bye.